Hello, good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm Tom with Faronics. I wrote a blog last month about some tips for remote endpoint management. So thanks very much for reading the blog. In this session, I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about how we can help you if you're managing endpoints from a remote location. As we're more than 2 years into the pandemic now, and remote endpoint management seems as if it's here to stay. So if you're an IT manager and you're responsible for your organization's endpoints, there's going to be something in this session that will make your life easier. So like I say, it's great to be with you today. And if you have any questions as I go through the presentation, please just pop them in the Zoom chat and we can pause for questions at the end of the session. We'll probably take around about 15 minutes without questions. So just to explain a little bit about who we are at Faronics, we've been around for more than 25 years now. In that time, we've sold more than 10 million licenses in over 150 countries, and we have over 30,000 customers all around the world of all different shapes and sizes. Our headquarters are in Vancouver in Canada. We also have offices in the UK, where I'm based, and in the USA and in Singapore. But we do also have partners all around the world, and those partners work with us to provide fantastic service to our customers. So wherever you are in the world, there's going to be someone around the corner who can look after you. And if you'd like to know whereabouts your local representative is, please just pop that question in the Q&A and we'll be happy to tell you who it is. So I'm going to show you now a product called Faronics Cloud Deep Freeze. This is especially useful for managing your workstations when they're in lots of different places. And you should find that you can automate a lot of tasks that might be manual. So starting with Windows updates, you can schedule your Windows updates and you can decide for each category of update whether you want to always install. So like, for example, there I've got critical updates to always install, or you can set an approval stage if you like. And then you just have to schedule a maintenance period where those always install updates are going to be delivered. And you can then use the Windows Updates page to approve. So here I can see for each category of update, I can have a look at an update and I can approve if I like, or I can just approve all, or I can deny. So I've approved that update. And the same applies for software updates. So here are a set of more than 100 commonly used applications. I'll just scroll down so you can see all of what's included. So it's just a case of selecting the ones that you want to keep updated and then scheduling a maintenance period, and those applications are going to be updated. So you might say that between 12 o'clock in the morning and 1 o'clock in the morning every Friday, all that software is going to be updated, and no longer do you need to be spending time on packaging up software updates. It's something that can just happen automatically without you needing to worry about it. Or if you prefer to do it on demand, you can. So on the applications page, I can see here exactly what version of everything I'm running. That can sometimes be a problem with remote locations. It no longer needs to be. So for example, for web browsers, I can see I've got some out-of-date web browsers here, and it's just a case of I can just update directly from the cloud, or uninstall or install packages, and I can install my own custom apps if I have particular software that doesn't appear on the list, the pre-packaged list. But essentially, software updates might be something that's difficult to keep on top of and takes a large amount of time. And it really doesn't need to be like that. It can say, you can be taking a couple of minutes a week on software updates, or even less if you want to schedule everything. And license management becomes easy as well with this software asset report. I can see here all the applications that I'm running across my estate. And I can see for each one how many licenses I'm paying for. And of those licenses I'm paying for, how many of them I'm actually using. And I can see when the licenses expire and what category of license I've got. So it doesn't need to be a headache keeping on top of all your license compliance. And you may even find that you might be able to save some money with Faronics Cloud Deep Freeze. Very often on running this report, a new customer would find that they're paying for a lot of licenses that they don't need. So this report really allows you to keep on top of everything that's happening in your estate relating to software licenses, but the same applies to lots of other reports. So if you want to find out, for example, which applications are getting used, you've got an application usage report. So I can see here total usage, number of computers. I can click on that number one there to see which computers, number of users, number of logins. I can filter by date. I can export that report. And the same for computer usage. So I can see which of my computers are being used, how many logins, how many unique users. And really, whatever you want to find out, you're going to be able to find out at the tips of your fingers. You're going to save time on pulling together information from a variety of different sources, cut out all the fiddle. It should just be straightforward. Whatever you want to know about what's going on, you can find it out easily. Also included in a license is remote control. So this is going to be especially useful if you're scattered all over the place, everyone's working at home, you've got an issue, your colleague might raise an issue with you and you want to just remote in straight away. It's just a case of I've got all my computers selected there and I can search and filter those computers so I can easily find the one I need. A bit like Excel, you can sort, filter, search. Okay, so I just want to remote into that one, remote connect, VNC, yeah. I will request user permission and then I can just establish a remote connection and see what the issue is. Inventory is often a problem if all your inventory is all over the place. You might not be able to keep on top of what you've got and where it is. This inventory button just solves that problem. So you can see all your computers and everything you might want to know about them, really. So you can see when they were last updated, who's currently using them, processor. You can see the system drive usage. So that's something that might become a problem if you don't keep on top of it, but using the inventory button, you can just stay alert to problems. So we've got one at 100% there. That's looking like an issue in 77%. So really this inventory will act as a first port of call for any issues that you can preempt before they become serious problems. You can see where your computers are, which is important when everyone's working remotely. You can see when your warranty ends. And you've got other columns here that you can drag and drop. So for example, if you want to have RAM appearing in this list, then you can see the information that relates to you. And you don't need to spend time pulling all this information together. You can make really strong decisions about managing your workstations based on all the available information in one place. If you've got workstations where you feel like security is a bit more threatened than you'd like it to be, maybe you've got multi-user machines, you can use kiosk mode. So this allows you to entirely lock down the appearance of your workstation, so you can say what the desktop looks like exactly as you require with your own logo and other elements. And then you can add applications and web links, and you can say, okay, I'm going to allow my users to do this and no more. So you can really restrict the amount of damage that your users can cause you using kiosk mode. And you can also prevent threats getting through by just ticking this box here, enable ransomware prevention in your policy. And that is going to prevent a long list of known ransomware from breaching your defenses. We're adding to this known ransomware all the time as ransomware becomes more known, but unfortunately, this has become quite a pressing problem since the pandemic started. Ransomware has exploded, with security significantly more jeopardized as everyone's working at home. So this is just a simple way of stopping or drastically reducing the likelihood that you're going to get hit by ransomware. And even if you did get a nasty threat that made it through your defenses, you can turn on deep freeze in your policy, which is a unique offer. It's a reboot to restore solution. So if you turn this on in your policy, what it means is that when you restart a workstation, it will always restart in its original state. So that will eliminate any security threat, will just disappear on restart, and you can restart from the cloud. And it will allow you to optimize the performance of your workstations. So you can make sure that your expensive hardware is always optimized, because you're not cluttering them up with junk. And there are ways to run deep freeze while also protecting your data. Like, you can make sure that you don't lose any data. We've got features like Data Igloo and Cloud Sync, so that your colleagues can still work while benefiting from deep freeze and keeping everything secure. So we talk about one platform, total control. So that's the platform I showed you there. It's all cloud-based, and it will give you total control of what's happening in your environment. It's just one really easy to use web-based console. And when you're managing your workstations, you've just got everything in one place. So if you're in the office or away from the office, and wherever your device is, and that includes mobile devices, you can just manage everything seamlessly. I've just talked about a few of the ways in which we can help you. There are lots of other features that will save you time. So for example, OS image deployment, that doesn't need to be a hassle. You can easily image. We support Pixie booting, becomes a completely seamless process. Power save is another one. If you need to save electricity, we've got an easy way of doing that with minimal user disruption, especially important given recent rises in price of electricity around the world. There's lots of other things you can do with Faronics. Please let us know if there's anything here that you're particularly interested in. We'd be happy to schedule a separate call to show you. There's a free trial available, 30-day free trial, no obligation. You can sign up to that from our website. So obviously you can try all the functionality I've just showed you, see what you think, and ask us questions in that month. When you sign up for the trial, you just need to create a policy and activate the functionality you need in your policy, and then install the cloud agent on the devices you want to manage, and then you're ready to go. So just to summarize today's session, whatever your problems are with remote endpoint management, whatever's causing you the most hassle, we can solve that problem for you. So I'm just going to leave our contact details on the screen now. Thank you for your questions in the Q&A. I can see one question there. I'm just going to invite any more questions. If you'd like to ask anything else, please put it in the Q&A now. About sites. So can you create sites? Yeah, so if you've got more than one site, you can use this site feature here. So you can just create your own site, and then you can allow only the right people to see the right sites. So if you want certain people to have access to, say, software updates in Berlin, and then another person to have access to, say, inventory in London, then you can just set everything up so that the right colleagues can carry out the right tasks in the right places. And it just becomes very easy to manage lots of different sites all in one place. Okay, thanks very much for your time today. Great to be with you. If you think of any more questions later, please just drop us a line and we'll be very happy to help you out.